Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us and being on time. Thank you, our leaders, for always keeping time. I always check at 8:50, at 7:59, as in that is when their clicking starts. So thank you so much, and we are really learning from that. And it's always good to keep time. It's a way of disciplining ourselves so that it runs over it rubs on us in every aspect of life. So thank you so much. So my name is Elizabeth Katam. I'm married to Charles Bett, seated next to me. And I think today I'll break the monotony or the rule and give him a chance to say hi to us before I take it over and take you through the products.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome, members, and all the guests who are in the call. We are eager to learn together, and we hope by the end of the presentation, you would have joined this great group, and together we make our world a healthier and a happy place to live in. Welcome, and let's pay attention.
Wow. Thank you so much. So, of course, if I had not given him a chance, there's this sweet word you wouldn't have heard from him. So, thank you so much. I'm an auditor by profession. I do this part-time. We are 4 months old in the business, and so far, our future looks brighter than the stars. I mean, where we are going is so bright. So if you're a guest in this call today, just know that you've made the right decision, the right choice to be here for that 1 hour that can really change your life, that can transform your life from where you are right now to something that you've never even imagined of. So stay tuned and hope you get to learn so much and you get to pick 1 or 2 things that will get you going. So I'll go straight away and share my screen. So we say that in this business, we are on a mission to make the world a healthier and a happier place. Because if you are healthy, you are happy, and you're even able to create wealth that you're able to enjoy and everything that goes with it. So we say your health is your greatest wealth. Without health, you cannot create wealth. So you have to start with your health. And we say that there are 3 pillars to your health or a good health. One is sleep. We are told you need to sleep between 6 to 8 hours every night. Good sleep, not the sleep where you still hear vehicles moving and all that. Good sleep, good rest for your body. Then you need to have exercise, at least 30 minutes, 3 to 5 days in a week. At least something that can keep your heart rate, that can make you sweat, is very healthy for each one of us. Then we have good nutrition, that is whole foods, food that are able to give us the nutrients that we need for our bodies to function well and to also protect us from diseases. So those are the three pillars that we need in our daily lives for us to function well and for our bodies to be good. Then we normally say that every bite you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. So there are 2 sets of foods that you can see below. Are the foods that are very tasty to our taste buds, and those are the foods that we normally run to. If you have a few coins, you find yourself running to a joint, taking chips, taking burgers, taking hamburgers, and all that. And those are the foods that are feeding disease. On the upper side are the healthy foods that we need to be taking: broccoli, apples, tomatoes, and all that. So whatever, if you assess yourself, look at where you fall. Are you feeding disease or are you fighting it? Then we have what World Health Organization has recommended. It's called the Well Triangle, and in that triangle, as you can see, it's wider at the base and narrower as it goes up. So we say that physical activity and weight management is something that you need to incorporate in your daily life. You need to have that brisk walk, that exercise, that rope skipping, anything that can really help you keep your heart rate high, sweat a bit, and that is what you need to incorporate each and every day for you to have a healthy life. Then we say that whole grains are good source of carbohydrates for each one of us. We do, but you find that we take a lot of refined grains. So and whole grains are things like boiled maize, brown rice, and all that. Anything that is still in its whole, in its all. In whole, as in nothing has been removed from it. So then we need fruits and vegetables. We say that we need 5 to 9 different colored fruits. Then we need 20 grams a day of proteins. And when you talk of protein, there are the white meats, the likes of fish, the likes of chicken, and we only need 20 grams, not more than that, not half a chicken being taken by one person. Then we have for fats and sugars, we say that you need to take 2 teaspoons of sugar, which is and very little fat. 2 teaspoons of sugar is not the table sugar, the sugar that we know of. It's the sugar from all the food groups that we eat, because we know that fruits have sugar in it, even the grains have sugar in it. So if you combine all that, it should only be 2 teaspoons per day of sugar. Then you can see there what I've explained. That is the healthy wellness triangle. That is how we should live our lives. But what have we done? We've behaved like that lady seated there, eating fries, eating hamburgers, taking soda. And what have we done to our lives? We have inverted our triangle, our wellness triangle. We do minimal physical or weight management. We eat very little whole grains. We eat little fruits and vegetables. Then as we go up now, we are expanding. Proteins now we are increasing. And for fats and sugars, it's now becoming the highest. So when we do that, we are really affecting our health. And that is why chronic diseases come about. And World Health Organization had predicted that by the end of 2020, the 3 out of every 4 deaths would be accounted for by the chronic diseases. Those that have been listed there: heart diseases like hypertension, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. So it's something that is already past. 2020 was last year, we are in 2021, and everybody can attest that that is something that we all face every day. We know of someone who has that condition or is suffering, or has a friend or someone who is suffering from that. Then Neolife now came into being. It was started by Jerry Brassfield in the year 1958 in the US. Then it came to South Africa, that is South Africa, in 1971. It came to Kenya in 1996. And today it is coming to you if you are a guest tonight. And the company is international. It is in 56 countries globally. So if you do your math, the company has been in existence for the last 63 years and going forward. So what has really kept this company going for all this time? There are values or core values that the company has incorporated, and each one of us has to incorporate for us to also have that long-range vision, that to have a long-term business. So one is absolute integrity. You have to have integrity. You should be trusted by people. Then people are number one. Everybody counts, whether you are 1 day old, 1 month old, 1 year old. Everybody counts in this business. Then we have products that work. If we say that a certain product does this and this, that is exactly what it does. Then it's an equal opportunity for all. If you're 18 years and over, if you're black, if you're white, if you have a degree or you don't have, if you're married or not married, it's for everybody. It does not discriminate regardless of your situation. Then it has a long-range vision. As I've said, it's been in existence for the last 63 years. Then we have a very strong scientific advisory board made up of top scientists in the world. As you can see there, you find most of those are PhD holders. So those are people who've really done a lot of research, and their work can be are credible, and anybody in the world can really say that whatever they've done is something that we need to emulate. So they have a seal from the Scientific Advisory Board, which is on every product to ensure that it is of very high standards and high quality. Then, how does now Neolife come in to give us that health that every one of us is seeking for, so that we are able to create wealth? So we have products that are able now to invert to make our triangle go the right side up. And but the last one, physical exercise and weight management, that one you have to do it on your own. There's no product for you for physical activity per se. It will not come and take you or make you jog while you sleep. No, that one you have to do it on your own. Then we have a product called 3NN, which is a whole grain concentrate, and it's able to fill that gap that is there when we don't eat whole grains. Then we have carotenoid complex, which is able to come in and fill the gap for fruits and vegetables. Then for fats, sugar, and protein, we have the salmon oil, famously known as omega-3. And when you pack there's a multivitamin. So when you pack the 4 into 1, we have the product called Provitality. And I know most of us, when we joined, that is the product that we were given. And I know everybody had a very good experience about it, especially the 3NN. It's able to cleanse your body. You feel good. When you sleep, you wake up energetic and ready to start a new day. So we have Liquivite, which is the liquid version of the Provitality for children who cannot chew and who cannot swallow tablets. Then we have products that are very good for us, especially during this time of COVID. And anybody with a very chronic illness, like going through chemotherapy, if they have cancer and all that, it's a very strong immune booster. So we have the carotenoid complex, which is now combined with other products, cruciferous and flavonoid. So when you combine 3 carotenoid complex tablets, 2 flavonoid complex tablets, and 1 cruciferous plus product, you get a very strong immune booster. And we say that even when you take carotenoid complex on its own, it's able to boost your immunity by up to 37% in only 20 days. So it's a very good product, especially during this time of Corona. Then we have some products that are able to help us to deal with our weight, because sometimes you try everything and it fails. So there's a product that is able to help you, especially if you are not able to control your hunger. You just keep eating, feeling hungry, and keep eating. So we have products that are able to control your hunger. And when you're able to control your hunger, you are able now to manage what you take in, because it is out of what you take in that you start gaining weight. So we have Neolife Shake, which comes in 3 flavors: vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. Then we have, that one is a protein shake that is able to make you feel full for longer. So you'll not keep eating frequently during the day. Then we have the Neolife Tea that is good to give you energy throughout the day. Then now we have the children nutrition. Children have not been left behind. I've talked about the Liquivite, which is the liquid version of the Provitality for children. Then the other range of products for children are the salmon oil or omega-3 that is really able to boost their brain development. They become sharper in school, and even in their development, you find that they're gaining milestones very fast. Then we have Vita Squares, which they're able to get all the vitamins that they require. Then we have the Vita Guard. Then we have the Hubble alternative range. And then we have the Hubble Rest and Relax, especially for people who work in very stressful conditions, and they are not able to get a good night's sleep. So once you take that, you are able to sleep, rest well, and wake up with energy to start a new day. Then we have the feminine herbal complex that is for the women, mainly to balance their hormones, and it's very good, especially for people who've suffered and maybe it's out of their hormonal imbalance, they are not able to get children. So that is a very good product for them. Then we have the herbal respiratory formula that is good for the respiratory system. And the masculine herbal, this one is for the men. It's able to work on their prostate to make it healthy, and even for those who are suffering from prostate cancer, to be able to manage the condition well. Then we have the Aloe Vera Plus. It's a very wonderful product for everyone. It's very good for our digestive system, or anyone with any digestive system issue like bloating, constipation, ulcers. It's able to sort that, and then even if you don't have any of those conditions, it's also able to make your body relax. Then the other range of products that we have is the Golden Home Care. These are the products that we use in our home. As you can see, we have the LDC, which is light duty concentrate, that is a it's a product, it's a soap that you can use. It's a multi-purpose actually. You can use it for almost anything around your home, from cleaning your surfaces, cleaning your floors, washing your dishes, bathing, brushing your teeth, washing your vegetables and fruit. So it's a multi-purpose soap, and it's very economical. For every 1 liter, you dilute it with 5 liters of water, so you have 6 liters, which is a lot of soap for use around the home. Then we have the Super 10. Super 10 is a stain remover that we can use around the home. We can also use it to clean our toilets. Then we have G1 Laundry, that is good for cleaning our clothes. You only need a little of it. Soak your clothes for minimum of 2 hours. When you come back, all the dirt has fallen off, and you just rinse your clothes and you're done. Then we have Supergrow. Supergrow is a very good product for our farm. It enables the roots to go deeper, get the nutrients. It even reduces the evaporation of water on the soil, and your plant is able to get nourished, and you're able to increase your yields up to 3 times. So it's a very wonderful product, especially for farmers or anyone in the farming, or even those who have gardens and they want to maintain their flowers to look beautiful. That is what you need. Then this financial and success. Every one of us has a dream or had a dream when they were young. If you lost yours, you can still dream again in this opportunity. You can see there a very beautiful Range Rover. It can be yours. In this opportunity, everything is possible. As long as you set yourself and do what you're required to do, you will get there. If you want the money like that lady holding money and letting it fly, it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. So if that is your dream, it will come to pass if you work on this opportunity. Then if your dream is to fly around the world, to move around the world, to explore, to see new places, and enjoy what is there in other places, this will come to pass in this opportunity. If you want a beautiful house with a swimming pool, or a home on the beach, that is made possible through this opportunity. We'll talk about how to get there. So before I continue, I'm going to talk about these cash flow quadrants. This was defined by one great man called Robert Kiyosaki. He's written several books, and he talked about this cash flow quadrants and divided into 4. That is where people get their livelihood, or where people fall in life. So once you've reached the age of working, so every one of us falls in one of those 4 quadrants. If you are not employed, you could be self-employed. If you are not self-employed, maybe you are a business owner. If you're not a business owner, you can be an investor. And it's been divided into two, the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And we say that 95% of the population in the world, or even in Kenya, fall in that category, 95%. And then only 5% fall on the right-hand side. So why is that so? You find what is on the left-hand side, there's a lot of stress, hard work, no money. But on the right-hand side, it's like there's freedom, there's life. And moving from one quadrant to another sometimes might seem impossible, but Neo Life has come in to show us how we can move from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. You don't have to go through the cycle of being an employee, then self-employed, then to business owner, to an investor. Neo Life has given us a sure vehicle to jump directly from either an employee or a self-employed person to a business builder or an investor directly. So we will see how this opportunity has given us that. So we say that you are in this business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have a team that is supporting you. So first of all, the company Neolife International is giving you so much that if you are to go and do it yourself, it is going to take you a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of skill, which some of us may not have. You may not be an IT person. You could be a Form 4 leaver. You could be somebody who studied chemistry. I mean, you don't know anything about IT. So the company is giving you all that everything that is put outside the circle, from products to finance to your own website, to your own app, to IT support. All that is given to you by the company. And how do you get those privileges? You get those privileges by partnering with Neolife. So how do you partner? To partner and enjoy all that's done for you, because you don't need to look for a store, you don't need to look for rent, you don't, I mean, it's like it's given you everything. You only need to avail yourself, and you decide how much you want to be paid. So you partner with Neolife by paying 8,970, and you earn 36 points. And in that 8,970, you will enjoy all the privileges that I've talked about. And on top of that, you have a product given to you. You have an international license, meaning you can do your business anywhere in the world. You have literature materials which will show you more about the product, more about the opportunity and how to get started. Then you get your own website, which is something, if you are to go out there in the market and get someone to do it for you, I mean, it's a lot of money. Then you're given the delivery is done to you for free. Then we've talked about this product Provitality, how it's able to turn our triangle in the right side up. Then there are three things that you are required to do once you join, because you've been given so much, but the company has given you a few tasks that you need to do, or this opportunity needs you to do, so that now you're able to enjoy and earn and get to your dreams or to your goals. So one, you use the products, and once you use the products, you earn points. Then you share the products, meaning that you are able to sell the product to other people and you earn profits. You share the opportunity, you earn even more points, and you get people joining your business. Then you train to get skills, and on top of training, like we are doing right now to get skills, you are able to also get personal development through reading the recommended books. So when you join and do 100 points, you become a distributor and you're given a distributor pin. Then the next level is you've done the business, you've done your 100 points, you've shown a few friends how to do it, 4 of them have joined and they do 100 points, then you get in total 500 points and you become a manager, and the company starts paying you from as much as 2,500 or 25 US dollars, and you get a manager pin recognition. Then the next level is a senior manager, where you earn between 25,000 or 250 dollars. So in total, you will have accumulated 1,000 points with your team, and you get a senior manager pin. Then the next level is director, where you earn 90,000 or 900 US dollars, and you accumulate 4,000 points. And you've also shown other people, who've shown other people, and now together you've done the 4,000 points. So in summary, these are the levels that you will go through. Everybody started as a distributor. Even our leaders, Josephat and Pierrot, they started as distributors. They went all the way. They are now in the president team. So it is possible. Anyone can do it if you have the attitude and the passion and the willingness to learn and to do this business and to be all in. You will get to your dreams. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for listening to me, and I hope you've learned something out of it. So thank you so much, and I hand it over to Josephat and Pierrot.
Wow, thank you very much. You deserve a clap, Elizabeth and Charles there. That's a great job. And thank you for making it so simple for even our guests, so that there is no excuse as to why one should not join. So, and our guests, you are very lucky. When we came in, it was never done in that easy way to understand. So for the sake of those who came in late when we had already introduced ourselves, my name is Karaoke Josephat, married to Pierrot Cherotit here. And between us, we are blessed with 4 young children. And we thank God for that. Now, we happen to have been in this opportunity for the last 10 years. In 2 months' time or 3 will be 11 years in the opportunity. And we are super excited that God brought us into an opportunity where we were to achieve all our dreams. I will not talk much because we have a very important guest who will be closing the meeting for us. But I must say this, that when we were joining, yes, Pierrot was interested with the health. But for me, I wanted money. Those who are from this country, Kenya, you know, Karaoke, Kamau, where they come from. We are not allergic to money. And by then, I was a full-time lecturer in the university. Pierrot was a high school teacher with the TSC. After working for about 7 years, we had already discovered that we were moving in circles. Big titles, little money. The money would get finished, and the month was very far from getting finished. And that was a bit shameful for us. We never expected that when we were schooling. We had big dreams, and we realized that our jobs will never, ever help us to achieve our dreams. So the only option we had is to look for another opportunity. And how faithful God is, that while we were praying for an opportunity, he brought a gentleman, an army man, who could not even explain the way Elizabeth has explained. And this guy shared the opportunity with us. When you are so ready for an opportunity and it shows up, that marriage will give birth to enormous success. So we started it, not knowing how to do it, but we had the desire. We really wanted to change our lives. Our biggest worry was, where will we get time from? Just like any other person, we usually have that fear. I didn't know how I would talk to people, but I knew I have a mouth that I could use to talk to people. So we agreed with Pierrot, let us start. We will understand the details when we are inside and making money. And ladies and gentlemen, the rest is history. We started very small. You've seen the starting level of a distributor. That's where we started with a very small check, which God helped me to think of photocopying. I love showing beginners that check of 2,002 Kenya shillings, not US dollars, Kenya shillings. But as we worked out the business, we brought more people into the business. We used more products in our house because we had to replace the chemicals we were using in the house for bathing and for all the other uses. And we saw our check got to 5,252 shillings the second month, went to 22,406 the third month. By the 7th month, Pierrot ran away from TSC, She even started saying, oh, TSC means Teacher Suffering Center. There's no longer Teacher Service Commission. And you know what? We realized there is power in having time freedom. Now, parents would be at home with our children. Life changed for even our children. But for me, I continued teaching in the university. Now, in 1 year's time, we were already earning 6-figure income from this opportunity. And life changed. Actually, that is when we graduated from Route 11, you know, walking like, okay, I wanted to say walking like animals. But, you know, we were so ashamed that I would go to the university to teach, and we would walk with my students to the stage, being rained on. But when we were 1 year here, that extra income was big enough. In a couple of months, we were able to import our first car, and we never looked back. To cut the long story short, it took us only 2 years, 11 months to be president team members. And the least they paid us those years, 2013, I believe I'm safe. It was $500,000 plus, exactly what Elizabeth has showed you as a president. And we have seen that growing and doubling, such that now we are no longer thinking about money. And then guess who are here? You reach that point where you never think about money. You just think of how many more people can I touch? Can I change lives for? And that is a very high level of a calling, where it's no longer about I, me, and myself, but the others. And in 2015, I remember in 2015, the money that the university was paying me in a whole year, I was making it here in your life in 1 month. And I realized I was wasting 11 months. So I wrote a resignation letter. Actually, it's PROs who wrote my resignation letter. And I took it to the dean of our faculty. And end of 2015 is when I resigned from the university. I fired my boss. And for all those years now, I've never been locked in an employment setup. And time freedom, financial freedom will really make your life so sweet. I don't want to talk much. I just want to take 2-3 minutes before I invite our guest speaker to close the meeting for us, to just show you one more thing, that even besides the wealth and the health that we have talked about, you can be able to build, or rather to travel around the world. That is myself there with the PROs. I believe you can see my slides. And wow, that's our machine. You see, it's good, especially if you are tall like me, that you graduate from driving cars to driving machines. And whatever you are promised in this opportunity, you will see it happening. They told me that I would be driving machines. I am a believer. I believed, but I didn't know it would come that fast. That's a Land Cruiser, the latest shape, you know, KCR08M. In case you find me on the road, I give you some lift. And we feel good when we are mentoring others to also enjoy this kind of life. And those are our kids there. Then you are joining the best team in the world. We are called Superstars team. And you can see the founder giving us the award for being #1 in the team. 2013, again, we were celebrated as #1. The company will always give you some cash incentives for good work, like that was $5,000 US. Then now you start traveling around the world. You start locally. Like now, after the lockdown, all our directors, we will be meeting in a 5-star hotel for a full breakfast just to celebrate together. Then you become a sapphire, the company takes you to Windsor Golf and Country Club, and you are already earning 6-figure income. Then you become a Ruby director. We take you to South Africa, Santon Sun, a pure gold cotton hotel for holiday. Then that was 2012 in Victoria Falls. So there's a lot of traveling. Grand Hyatt. Then here we were climbing that tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa. You know, even when you go to heaven and God asks you, what did you see very phenomenal on earth? You can cite this. You don't have to talk of KICC. You know, Then we went to Obai, George. It's an island in Indian Ocean. Everything paid by the company as an incentive. Then that's red carpet recognition in Cape Town with our great team members. They are all here. We went to Abu Dhabi, celebrating with the founder there, visiting Ferrari World, Yas Water World, seeing the biggest mosque in the world. And that time you're being treated in a 7-star hotel like Emirates Paris. Then we went to Mauritius, young and old. And in 2018, October, we went to Mexico, Los Cabos. And all these people you are seeing here, they are presidents. I love mentioning that, ladies and gentlemen, because if all these are presidents, then it tells you, you too can become a president. It's not a position for the chosen few. It's for the few who choose that is the luxurious life that they want. Then we went back to Abu Dhabi, even with our parents. From that photo down there, you can see the last gentleman there seated with me. That's my biological father. I can see Orao here and Florence Okech. They are here, they are around team with us. You know, and when you go out there, you come back with some token of appreciation. They told us, go taking tea, 615,000. I was not used to that in the university. And we are saying it all starts with you paying that very little amount. I won't say it's very little because it's yours, but then sacrifice that, start this opportunity, and life will never be the same again. Success starts from now if you are joining us. So you pay directly to the company through that pay bill number, 985650, and the account number, you put your national ID, then the amount, and you share the message after payment with the person who invited you to this meeting. It's that sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am very humbled, very privileged to invite someone who has been in this business for much, much longer than myself. When I came in, she really inspired me that it is possible, and I don't have enough words to thank her. I can only say it's a blessing for us to have her on this call. She has been in the formal employment in a big job, but then this became a sweeter thing, and she will share with you her testimony. If Margaret Amulavu, you can hear me, please, you can take it from there.
Thank you, Karaoke and Pierre Rose. I don't take it for granted that you invited me to share with your great team, powerful, powerful people. Congratulations, Charles and Elizabeth, only 4 months. Wow, 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 excellent. If I was a guest, I would have signed up before the session was over. As Karaoke and Pierre Rose have said, my name is Margaret Amulavu. Before this business, I worked for an international bank. And after working for this international bank for 8.5 years, I chose to resign. And I know people are wondering that I resigned before I was actually 30. And my parents were not happy. People around me were not happy because I mean, people think that a bank job, how can you leave a bank job? And that's where all the money is. But while I left that job, I remember that the first day I went to the bank, I was not happy. I didn't like what I saw. I saw a lot of procedures that didn't need mind engagement, just that were very routine, and I thought it was a very boring life. But what really made me leave is that one day I came home, and my son was 3 years, our son was 3 years then, said, "Mommy, you don't come home these days." And he had said, for 3 days, "Mommy, you have not come home." And that really worried me and concerned me. Because number one, I thought this boy at 3 years actually thinks his mother does not come home. Secondly, I come from a very mixed background, and my father is Kenyan, my mother is a Malawian, and then I'm married to somebody from the western part of Kenya. And I just thought my in-laws would think that I'm as mixed up in my life as I am from my background. And so on that basis, when I got a second child, I chose to resign. But I've never regretted leaving the bank because I met my husband, Charles Amulavu. And I always say that if I was given a chance, I would marry him again. We've now done 28 years, and it's been an exciting and good journey. He's been a great part of who I am, the kind of person I've become because of the support and encouragement and inspiration he has been to me. And at the time I left the bank, I used to come home at midnight, get in the morning at 8, come home at midnight. They will provide supper, they will provide a taxi to take us home. And so it was a very difficult decision to make. But I do remember that on the day I decided to resign, that was on 30th September 1996 at 3 p.m. I sat on my desk, consulted nobody, talked to no one, because I didn't want to be discouraged. I'd already made up my mind, and I resigned, wrote my resignation letter, took it to the Human Resource Department. They stamped, received. I took a copy and walked to my husband's office, and I said, I have resigned from today, and you're going to be the one who is going to take care of us. I want you to imagine that a man who now has to take responsibility. We now have 2 children. We've got a house mortgage. We've got a car loan. Our son is going to school, and just this lady just walks away. And that's why I say I've got a good man for a husband, and I have never regretted. 1 year after I left the bank, I was home. Of course, I didn't have plan B. I just knew I must leave. And I was so sure that I need to leave that I even paid them their 1 month in lieu of notice. I have never gone back to date to check what I left at that desk. To date, 25 years. I don't know what I left inside that desk because I never went back. So I was home for a year. I got a bit frustrated. I was used to having my own income because when Charles and I met, I was already working. So I found that the decisions I couldn't make, there are things I couldn't do. I mean, I couldn't even surprise him because now I have to ask money for him and being asked what is it for. So you can't even do a surprise because you don't even have the money. And then the thing that you eat food because of what you can afford, not that is what you want to eat. I remember changing the salon. I used to have long hair, and I remember changing the salon to go one across the road. I remember not being able to buy for my children small things that I would see on the streets. And that for me was quite frustrating. And so I prayed to God, a believer, and I told God 2 things. Give me a business I can do from the house, because I'd already decided I want to bring up my children myself. I have this belief that I can never be an ex-parent. I can be an ex-employee, ex-anything, but never an ex-parent. And I knew that children, I can't put their lives on hold, but I can put mine on hold, my job, my career, and I can pick it up later. I knew that children, I wanted to impact them with the values I'd been brought up with. I wanted them to believe in what I believe. And I knew that children will become like who they spend their most time with. And so I wanted to be home. And I said, I want a business from the house and not more than 15,000. You know why 15,000? That is the only money I had in a cooperative society, not in my account. The only money in my account, though having worked in the bank, was 20 Kenya shillings. Can you imagine 20 Kenya shillings? That is how much I had. And it's because we were told at that time that is how much you need to maintain as a minimum balance. And so I was invited, and I remember that the lady who invited me, I'd worked with her in the bank. It's somebody I knew, and she was my neighbor. And she told me one day, there's a business in town. You can do it from the house. You'll have free mentorship. You'll get good money. You'll even earn foreign currency, and you'll even travel. The bit of foreign currency and traveling I knew was a lie, because having worked in the bank, those were the days even to go Forex, you needed to ask for central bank to give you authority to have. You couldn't just get foreign currency. And so I was thinking, where will it pass through? Secondly, what could I do in a house that can give me a passport to go where we do to do what? I'm thinking of cleaning, cooking, tidying up, making beds, washing, and I'm thinking, how do those add up to give me a ticket? But I decided anyway. She was very kind to me. She said she'll pick and drop me from the house. And she did. She picked me one evening, took me to a place we call Professional Center. And at the time I went, I remember there was a lot of talk of devil worship. People were saying there's a business that has come. People are making a lot of money. And you know, it's devil worship. So I made sure I sat next to the door. If I see something funny, I can dash out. And, you know, and though people say of devil worship, they don't even know how that devil is worship, but they talk about it. And I remember during that meeting, I saw 2 very prominent ladies in the meeting. I saw Lupita's mother, and I saw Kiraitu Murungi's wife. I later got to know their names. And I had seen them on TV because they lived in exile at one point when our country did not allow the kind of politics they had. And so I wondered, how are these 2 women here? They've lived out of the country and they're inside this room. So I already made up my mind. I said, even if I don't understand what is going on, I know there's money here. Secondly, the presenter was a pastor from South Africa. He said he'd done the business for 10 years part-time, and that he'd bought a house. He lived in Cape Town. And I had an idea of Cape Town because I've got one of my brothers who lives in South Africa, and he would tell us all sorts of stories about South Africa. And so I had an idea, and I knew that Cape Town lives who is who. And I thought, this man who is a pastor lives in Cape Town. And one comment he made, he said that he had asked the church that they should no longer pay him, that he can handle himself, but he'll continue preaching that they should not put him in the payroll anymore because he can take care of his pocket, but because ministry is his calling, he will continue. And so that evening, I didn't understand much, but I understood they are good products. I understood that I'll get good mentorship. I could do it part-time. And I knew I could work from home. And then the startup was not a lot of money. Actually, the two answers, yes, God answered. It became a business from home. And the money we were starting with was half that $150. So for me, that was really an answer to prayer. So for me, I take it that this business is not just something I do, but I know that God answered my prayer. And so I started off. And when I started off, I was sure I could do business. I'd grown up knowing that you go to school, work hard, get a good job. And to me, of course, that bank job was a good job. So I didn't start off to do business per se. And as much as I needed the money, they said, if I team up, I'll get the products at a wholesale price. And that was my starting point. And the pack we got had all the ranges. It had got health products, it got cleaning, it had health. And so for me, I focused more on the cleaning because I was very unsure of the health. I mean, they looked like tablets, they were all colors. And I said, number one, I'm not sick. Number two, I'm not a doctor, so I can't even explain. I was very skeptical. I grew up in an era where people use skin products and got skin cancer, color change of the skin. And I knew that if the skin changes, it's more deep, it's gone to the blood and all that. So I was not very comfortable with the health and the cleaning. But the cleaning products for me, wow. I never forget the day I tried Super 10. And of course, in basic life, you start life just like anybody else. And I remember we only had a 2-burner gas cooker, and we used to use a stove in one of the stores. And in one of those stores, the place was black, soot filled the place. And so they said this Super 10 is a stain remover. And I remember immediately diluting it. And I saw all the soot coming down. Do you know I slept at 2 a.m.? I didn't even realize the time. I was so excited. I just wanted to finish cleaning this room. 6 months after we joined the business, we got an unfortunate incident. The child that I'd gotten when I left the bank, we rode with our car and we lost her. And I knew I was not good for a job. There are days I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to go out. Life was not as meaningful to me. And so I found myself with a lot of time on me. And yet I knew I can't go back to work. I was not good for any job. There are times I walk in town and just cry. I see baby clothes and just cry. And so I knew I was not good for a job. And so I looked at the products that said that they're products you use when you get stressed. And sure enough, I did use the products they called for stress. I used the Pro Vitality, Vitamin B Complex, Calmag, Hubble Rest and Relax. And those products, I did not go into depression. Because after losing our child, we lost my mother-in-law, my mother, my father-in-law. In 6 months, we'd lost all these people. And imagine I didn't go into depression. And I know what depression is, because I'd been there before. That will be a story for another day. And so when I didn't get depressed, I really wondered, what are these things? They said they're not medicine, but I didn't go into depression. And that made me start looking at the healthcare products. And so I actually started doing the healthcare. And I decided that every day, 2 hours before everybody wakes up, I'm going to study 3 products every day and write. I can tell you, I know the products as if I'm the one who manufactures them. I really know and understand these products. I talk to people who are higher than me in their profession, and they can't believe that I tell them things that I can relate with them, and yet I didn't do medicine as one of my backgrounds. Then when I started the business, the thing that excited me is the daily profits, that I could make money every day. Imagine every day. I started wondering, how do you get paid 12 times in a year and you're 365 days? So for me, the daily profits made a difference. It means I didn't have to ask for fare. I didn't have to ask when I want to change a meal. If I just wanted to wear a nice dress, I could actually go and buy. I could treat myself for a nice cup of tea in town without worrying. So those daily profits really made something. It made a difference for me. And I always tell the men that the end month money is not even a big deal. The rent you pay, the fees, that's a fixed figure. These daily costs that change every year are the real thing. And we understand that those monies, though they look little, they are actually the main thing. And then the other, when I started talking about my friends, I got rejection. One of the people who actually gave me real rejection, I lost the job to report at church, and at the end of the service, this friend of mine came and said, I'm so sorry about your job, but you know it is that thing you joined, that thing being this company, this business. And I remember telling her, thank you very much for sympathizing with me, but I tell you, we are never going to talk about the business until one day you give me a chance to what exactly I joined. You're going to get rejection. And that very girl, 3 years down the line, her husband got very bad ulcers, and she was asked, do you know a New Life distributor? Do you know she came for me? Can you imagine? I almost asked her if the devil had left this time, but anyway, I know God, and so as like Jesus, for them, for they do not know what they are saying. So sharing was a bit difficult. I wasn't as confident. And so talking to my friends hard. I remember I signed up the first one after 7 months. I was really, really slow. And like Rose and karaoke, I was very, very slow. I remember the first check I got, I made profits daily, but the first income I got was 230 shillings, went up to 1,000, went to 3,000, 6, 9. At the end of 1 year, I was actually making exactly 30,000, which is what the bank was paying after working for 8.5 years. So for me, that was exciting. Just the fact that I could get paid. Remember, I said I couldn't do business, and here I was making money. So for me, that was really exciting to replace my income in such a short time. So after losing my baby, I decided I'll go flat out. I decided to get into the trainings. And this business, you need to train, get skills on how to talk to people, get skills on the products, how they work, how to share them, how to even use them. And for me, training is really key. I'm so serious with training. I remember one time, because of not, I was still very young when we got our our third daughter now. God is very faithful, because our late girl was born on May 24th, 1996, and we lost her. And 6 years later, God gave us another girl who was born on May 23rd, 2002. Even if we were to plan, what planning can we really do to that exact? So God is faithful. I want to say without a doubt that God is faithful. And so training, I take it very seriously. I remember one time Angela became unwell because I think I had a careless house help, and she got a viral infection, went to hospital, and we went on a Wednesday and they said they had to admit her. And I was okay. We were admitted Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, there was the first ever manager training somebody coming from the US. And I was okay until Friday. But when Saturday came, I called Charles and I said, you know what? You're going to bring the girl in the house to the hospital and bring me clothes. I discharged myself, went for the training in Intercon. Angela was on a drip. I said, what will be, will be. I cannot change anything by being there and holding her. I said, this training will make all the difference. This was the first one coming from US. I discharged myself. And I remember people seeing me at the meeting. They said, we thought you were in hospital. I said, yes, I am, but I am here. And after the meeting, I went and readmitted myself. That is how crazy I am about training. I'll not miss training for anything. I will not miss it. Another one I remember is an auntie of mine passed on, actually my dad's sister, older sister. And you know, I didn't go for the funeral because there was a training. You see, I said the training was already planned for. This death has come. So this business helps you to do priorities. And I know people think you're a little bit crazy, but let me ask you, I thought, who needs to see me? My sister told me how people will talk. And I said that people have always talked. And who needs to see me? The cousins who lost their mother, or these people who are coming for the funeral. So me, I went for the training. And after a week, I went to see my cousins, did shopping for them, sat with them. And they were so happy. They said, you know what? You have done the best thing. Imagine you have even bought us something. As in, I was remembered more than the people who went for the funeral. So some funerals, you know, I find people going for every funeral. And when they're there, they're actually asking me, Nikifo and Nani has actually died, surely. The other thing is that you will need to sacrifice. You're going to make tough choices. You're going to do today what others won't do so that tomorrow you'll have what they won't have. I cut out on my TV time. I remember there was a program, The Rich Also Cry. And that program, if it started wherever we were, we would have to stay there until it ends. You'll have to cut off on TV time. There are friends you're going to stop seeing because some friends are not useful. I call them toxic. If they walked in here, the lights will go off. They drain off your energy. They tell you you're smart, but that bag, but they always have a bat to draw out all the energy. You're going to get rid of those toxic friends. There are things you'll not be able to attend. I remember that when we started off, every Saturday we were at a wedding. Even when, somebody says, are you doing something today, Nipeleke? Let's go, and you go. So you're going to have to prioritize your life and change how you do things. The other thing I can say is that the incentives are great. And I remember that when our income got to 1,000 times, remember I said we started off with 230. This time we earned 230,000, 1,000 times. Can you imagine increasing income by 1,000 times? Wow, that was exciting. And that's the day I said, you know what? I'll never look for a job. 24 years later, I never looked for a job. It has been an exciting time. That boy was 3 years, is now 29. Anytime I will be a mother-in-law, and I know I'll be a good one, because through personal development, we're able to relate with people of different levels without feeling anything. And for traveling, I cannot even begin to say. Our first trip was to Mauritius in 2004. Oh, beautiful, beautiful place. You should never leave the earth before you visit there, because you'll get confused when you go to heaven because of how beautiful it is. The ladies danced for us. We were received at the airport with flowers. There was a car taking us, a tour car taking us around with a map of every stage we'd been. And I remember when we got to our room, there was welcome Charles and Margaret, Amulavu. Oh, wow. The program for the day was on the screen. And South African couple. And they asked us, you guys are young. How did you get here? We went to what they call Sugar Beach. It's not even a 5-star, it's a 7-star. It is a hotel, and around it is a pool. If you just misbehave kidogo, you end up in the water. And I remember them saying they'd saved for 15 years to go there. And as a few years of doing business, we were already there. Can you imagine? So this business shortens the space within which you can achieve things. So for me, that was exciting. The other trip I remember is to Cape Town. Oh, Cape Town, beautiful, where the two oceans meet. They are different colors, they don't even mix. Been to Robben Island, where Mandela was jailed, seeing the room, seeing where he was doing everything. I've been to Soweto, Johannesburg, and seen where him and where he grew up. I've been there. South Africa is almost like my second home, because my mother, having come from Malawi, it's part of a South African market. And one of my brothers is married to a South African and lives there. So the South Africa, I go there like every other day. And this business has helped me achieve 2 of my key dreams. After we lost the child, I realized maybe it was the car we were driving. And so I set a goal to drive a very good car, a car with a surname. You know, there are some cars that are just a name. I wanted the one with a surname. I chose, we wanted a BMW. Got a big picture, put it in the sitting room. People would come and say, what is this? The car would drive. And they said, you're surely crazy. Where will you get the money? I'm telling you, 5 days to the date, I set that goal, 5 years. Because I set it on 31st of December 2002. I set that goal in 97 after losing the child. To the very date at 6 p.m., we had that car, a gray, nice color. It's got what we call side impact bars. It cannot roll. It's got a central system that makes it stable. Even if you go at what speed, it is stable, it is nice. You can tell the difference when you're on the wheel. It's a little bit heavy, and it's really inashika vizuri barabara. Really, really nice car. The other big dream we had was to travel with my kids, because we traveled a lot. I've been to London, very organized place. Things happen on time. Everything goes on. In fact, one of my experiences in London that I must share, because that for me was a big deal. You know how you copy fashion? So at the time we traveled to London, there was a fashion in Kenya of big bags. And there's a friend of mine who's got a shop at Anniversary Towers. She was getting things from Turkey. And so another friend called Nancy came and bought a big bag. And she asked Millie, so this big bag that I bought, what do I put? I know it's fashionable. And Millie tells her just to put a gazette, newspapers, and just put them in, bora ijai. Shock to me. When I went to London, oh my God, do you know why they carry big bags? The weather, horrible. It is raining in the morning, cats and dogs. So you need boots, you need an umbrella, you need a coat, you need something to cover your head. At about midday, that whole weather has changed. So you need to remove the clothes from the bag and change. Can you imagine? That's why they were carrying big bags. And I said, oh my God, this thing of copying and pasting is really, really bad. So going to London made me understand a few things about how these guys think and what and how they keep time. What am I saying? I'm just saying that this business can totally, totally transform your life. In fact, one of the things I remember in 2007, when we go to South Africa, Chelsea and I go for a whole month. I mean, we've got people there, we've got friends. And in 2007, when we went to Cape Town, I remember we stayed with my brother for a week, came and stayed with another brother, with another friend of ours in Joburg, and we went for a whole month. When we left the country, our check that previous month was $70,000 or $700. Do you know we came back and our check was $1,000? As in a month, we are away, but the money is multiplying. So I just said, what a business. If you don't have a business, unless you can go away for 6 months and still earn. If you have to open and close, you don't have a business. You're actually, the business owns you. Number 2, the flexibility. You can work from anywhere. I mean, look at us. We are all home wherever we are. Whichever country, we are home, but we are working. There's never been a better time to be in this kind of opportunity. People are losing jobs. They don't know about their future. This is one business you can totally rely on. And you know what? You can pass it on to your children. I don't know with what that you are doing currently. Are you able to leave it to your children, Or is it be die the day you die, it also dies? This is the business you pass on to your children, gives you a legacy and gives you a name. And finally, I want to say that it can give you your biggest dream. You know, we're given an imagination that has no end. You can be in Nairobi, but your mind is in London. That is what imagination can do. So whatever you can imagine, this business can give and more. A few things you need. Number one, you need to have a dream or a vision. Why are you alive? Who will know you ever lived? Who will know you are alive one day? Will you be the kind of people who died and the only sign you are alive is the tombstone that has your name? Nobody knows you ever lived. Number two, you need a burning desire. You're sick and tired of walking when people are driving. You're sick and tired of looking at the right-hand side of the menu instead of the left, where you look at the price and go next to see what matches with that, even when you don't know the name. You're sick and tired of your children going to a school that is in your neighborhood because that's what you can afford. You're sick and tired of having neighbors make noise because that's the only place you can live. You're sick and tired of wearing the same clothes, you know? Sunday best came from, that is the dress you wear on Sunday, so everybody knows it, you know? I think there was a time I wore clothes until people knew me from the back because that's the only outfit I had. You're sick and tired of that kind of a life. You're sick and tired of having a stove where you cook one meal. Instead of having a 6 burner, you make the 6 meals and finish off. You're sick and tired of that kind of life. You're sick and tired of going for Christmas to Ushago. In East Africa, we go up country because there are no expenses there. The water is at the river, you use firewood, so there are no expenses. You're sick and tired of that kind of a life. I tell people that a public holiday is not a holiday. A holiday is when I look at the calendar and I say today is the 12th, and up to next week or next month, around this time, I'm on holiday. The one you're the one who says, you know, that's why they call it public, it's for everybody. When will you have your private one? Yourself. You're sick and tired of that kind of a life. The world was made for us to go around and check it. And then you need guts. Get used to sneers. People